Good evening and welcome to Slam the Gavel, the show that tells it all regarding family court, criminal court, and other court issues, as well as CPS. I am your host, Marianne Petrie. You can find me, my books, and blogs on dismantlingfamilycourtcorruption.com. And you can also, if you have a tale to tell, you're welcome to contact me at dismantlingfamilycourtcorruption.com. I have a return guest. I'm very happy to have Amy Palacios on. She was last on season 3, episode 146, 165, and 179. Season 4, episodes 134, 145, and 150. Season 5, episodes 22, 70, 73, 83, 186, 191, and 281, as well as 294. And the last time she was on, we discussed proving the pattern at the federal level. And then we had talked about the federal case being explained and financial extortion. So I welcome you back, Amy Palacios. It's great to see you again.
Great to see you, Marianne. Thank you for having me on to update everything going on in my case in Cabarrus
Oh,
County, North Carolina.
right. That's a happen in place. You know, what happened with your federal case?
The federal case is still open in North Carolina
Good.
with Edie Basista and I. All three of our exes, my two ex-husbands and her ex-husband, all defaulted. So essentially admitting to everything that they did to us. Um, we sued multiple lawyers, multiple judges for the pattern of corrupted behavior. We are still, both of us are constantly going to court and district court. I had filed an order to vacate Cabarrus County orders I have like seven different case numbers in Cabarrus County, but I filed to vacate the child support order and the child custody order for my older kids and go back to the Mecklenburg County order in
Mhm.
um in Mecklenburg County, North Carolina, because I had 7 days on and off custody and nobody was paying child support. I wasn't paying $2,800 a month and only seeing my kids every other weekend. So I had filed to vacate back to that. And I did an update, Marianne, with you, Marianne, on I think it was the 12th of August.
Yep.
And then 2 days later, someone must have been listening to our podcast because 2 days later, the judge made an order instead of waiting. We were supposed to go back to court September, um, the end of September, like the 23rd of September to get an order. And which is odd that you wait 60 days to come back to court to get an order, which is what they've been doing, like dragging cases out
Oh,
and
yeah.
in Cabarrus County, like every couple months you come back and making things longer, keeping people away from their kids longer and longer. And it's honestly been like in the favor of mostly attacking mothers more than men, or there's a lot of people unrightfully have their kids taken by DSS, which I didn't have that situation, thank goodness. But there's especially people that have like large amounts of kids. They're
Mhm.
trafficking children through DSS in Cabarrus County. There's over 200 people in group home and foster care. And, the state is matched that $800 a month. So it's like over $180,000 a month they're receiving in Cabarrus County to keep children from their biological families' homes. So it's a money marketing scheme. But I had filed to vacate the orders that had happened with my first ex-husband. Um, and I have an open lawsuit in Cabarrus County judges, Christy Wilhelm. We have a federal open lawsuit, and Judge Nathaniel Knutz, and they're in retaliation. They're doing these things to me in district court because I have open lawsuits against them. So
Mhm.
honestly, I don't even think they're legally probably even allowed to make an order with an open federal lawsuit against them. I have, requested to recuse them in the past and they both refused. Um, but immediately 2 days after our podcast, I they created an order that I didn't get for days and days later. It was like not even mailed for 5 days later. So of a gatekeeper order essentially saying I can't file anything else and to shut up for 2 more years, which that would make all my kids age out and make me continue to pay my ex-husband, my abusive ex-husband for 2 more years, that it's extorting money through child support and
Mhm.
essentially keeping my kids hostage um, from me, even like 2 miles away,
Mhm.
like not allowed to come to family events, not allowed to literally watches them on 360 and tracks every move they make. Where my other child that had a car that I had purchased and everything, she was coming over every afternoon afterwards, and um he couldn't say no, you can't come, you can't do this, you can't, because I guess I own the car. I don't know, but he didn't control her as much as he's controlling these two children. So, um, or maybe it was just the difference in the will of the child, or the fear
Mhm.
difference. But it's just crazy. I mean, I explained in my last podcast how much financially I'm supporting my children, but yet, being there withholding them essentially, and he's making them work. Like every weekend that I have them, they're having to work like
Mm.
every single day, like Friday, Saturday, and Sunday of the weekend. They have to work the entire time.
Oh, he's
And he's
horrible.
allowing them to take off weekends of his weekends so that they can do the things that they're supposed to do. But they have to work the little bit of parenting time that we have, and the time that those two kids, my middle two children that are in high school, get to spend with their two younger siblings that are in middle school, is a very limited amount of time, and they're having to work the whole time. And I think it's really wearing on them. I can tell that
Mhm.
it's like they miss us, because during the summer they were with me a week on, a week off, back to our normal schedule that we did for 8 years. And so it was like, oh, this just, they could take a deep breath and it felt good again and just normal again to be around their siblings and be around me. And there was not all this keeping them away and you can't do this and you can't do this. But it's all back to the same, you know, narcissistic manipulation. So I my biggest issue is like the gatekeeper order is just ridiculous when we have an open case right now in the Court of Appeals, and we have an open case right now in federal case, both over 6 months open. So, if it wasn't substantial, they would have both been closed in 30 days.
Mhm.
So, even substantial ones get closed in 30 days. So, because they just kick people's paperwork and just say, default them. But we obviously have a substantial reason to be in the higher courts. Um, and, I have court on Monday, and it doesn't, with the other ex-husband, not the one with the older kids, but the younger kids, because they set a court date at the same time, exactly the same time, in exactly two different rooms,
Mhm.
at the same time with two different judges at the same time in two different rooms for the seventh time in Cabarrus County.
Oh.
And I didn't even file a motion. I didn't even, I hadn't even filed a motion for the second ex-husband. It was like they set a trial for what I was being heard on for the other ex-husband. It doesn't even make sense just to do it to try to make it so I couldn't be there for one or the other. It did it and Jay White's been altering the schedule and creating that pattern of behavior because he did it 7 times in Cabarrus County. When I went to go for trial for my second ex-husband that beat me up, went to jail for 6 months. has
Yeah.
2 criminal convictions of assault on a female, and also beat up a police officer, was in jail for 6 months,
Hmm.
threatened to kill me on the stand at the domestic violence trial. We're having trial for him for termination of parental rights. And right before we go to trial for him for termination of parental rights, Jay White, who was his lawyer and is this top defense lawyer in the area, he then had my first ex-husband kidnap 2 of my kids on the
Hmm.
same day at the same time in 2 different courtrooms. And then all of a sudden I'm abusive. I
Oh,
mean, he didn't just beat up me, he beat up my sister. He beat up a police officer, was walking around the jail, painting the walls with poop, the floors with poop. There's like documented evidence of this. Like, even documented evidence of like how drugs and him admitting to this behavior and that behavior and inappropriateness and like, but this same lawyer, Jay White, that's been over DSS child support, been over DSS child welfare, been over the school board, but he was also acting as the top criminal lawyer in the area. He was saying this guy, you know, is good to be around children. He's supposed to be for the kids. Oh, he's taking all these people's kids away from them, making up criminal charges on things like the Hux's little pinky finger, gave
uh-huh.
him a felony charge for a little fracture of a pinky finger that was pinched in a cart for 3 years, took away all, 5 of their children and this whole thing. But knowingly criminals, and he's the one defending them, he's making it the other way around. Like the person that's the victim is the problem. And that person needs to shut up. I'm going to gatekeeper you. I'm going to make you be quiet.
Hmm.
All this kind of stuff. So gatekeeper, that's not a gag order. So I can still go stand in front of the courthouse, in front of um the judicial building and the government building with my megaphones, like I've been doing, holding
Hmm.
up their faces, holding up their signs, and our entire side of the courthouse is glass. And every single thing, every single, they're watching us as we protest with these, you know,
Good.
horrible judges, horrible lawyers that are all in this corrupt Cabarrus County. So the crazy thing is I had linked to our last, this is probably part of the problem. Remember in the last one we linked that meeting that I had with the old county commissioner.
Hmm.
His name was Mike Downs. He was there for 30 years. It was just whole, kind of band-aiding all the corruption going on in Cabarrus County. He got fired 6 months ago. They brought in this other guy, Shawn Newton, and in 6 months he got them out of debt by $6 million. All this stuff. Just a couple weeks ago, in an open county commissioner meeting, they just fired him. They just He was actually doing good. They just fired him because we would go in and meet with him, the Huxes and all these different people, and all of a sudden the Hucks got their kids back in the time that this county commissioner's there. I mean, not the county commissioner, the county commissioner manager,
And that was
Shawn.
Mike Burns. Oh, no, Sean.
It used to be Mike Downs. He got fired. He was doing nothing. We were going to him, help us,
Right.
help us, help us, all this corruption. He was doing nothing for 30 years in this position, getting paid $300,000 a year to do nothing but cover up the corruption. So he
Hmm.
got fired 6 months ago. This new guy came in and was like, hey, I'm going to do something about this. This is not right that there's over 200, close to 250 family, kids and children in foster care and group homes in Cabarrus County. Why are we 4 times everybody else in all the other counties in North Carolina? Well, essentially, we're trafficking children. You know what I
Hmm.
mean? Like, this is not cool. So he was actually going to do something about it. He got them out of debt by $6 million. He didn't increase taxes. But still got them out of debt somehow. And I don't know what his process or what he did, but guess what? They fire him, and Mike Downs sues the county and for abnormally getting fired. He got or dis whatever his reason was that he said they had no reason to fire him. They're giving him $4 million. So that Jay White, Hartzell and Williams, his firm, all that, they probably even had something to do with that. They probably had something to do with bringing in somebody else for this little temporary time. And we'll get you your parting money. We can't give you $4 million under the table for hiding our corruption, but you quit and you sue us, then we'll give you your $4 million parting, because we'll help you prove that was not legal for them to fire you that way. It doesn't even make sense. They can hold an open county commissioner meeting and fire anybody at any time. They just showed that they can do that. They did it again with this Shawn Newton guy. So why can they not legally do it with the other guy, Mike Downs? How is he getting $4 million from Cabarrus County? Oh, another trafficking scheme, another corruption. Oh, another way to extort money through Cabarrus County. Sounds about right. Well, guess what? A couple weeks ago, my kid's bus, they're in middle school, literally catches on fire while they're in the bus. Okay, starts going like smoking in the bus. We live across the street from the school. That was already the second bus of the day. The first bus in the morning had already broke down. The air conditioning broke down. This is the second bus of the day. They literally had to do a third bus before they even got the kids home. Well, we went and picked them up from the school. Well, I did a little story with my kids. I don't know if you saw that. We can link that from my Facebook to this, about interviewing them about what happened, right?
Mm-hmm.
So they told me what happened, and then like someone else contacted us in the media, a media person, and they said, "Can you meet me in 30 minutes and do like an interview about this bus, the bus smoking?" And apparently there was a big viral video of the smoking bus out there too.
Wow.
So I did, but I told, I'm like on the meeting, I'm like, well, on the little interview, I'm like, can I tell them to come to the county commissioner meeting on September 5th at 6 p.m. at the government building at the Cabarrus County, and stand up to get, new buses and to get funding for schools, and stand up against this extortion going on in Cabarrus County with money and blah, 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 blah. And they're like, yeah, you can tell him whatever you want. But he kept interrupting me and asking me, were your kids scared? And I'm like, yeah, they were fearful.
Yeah.
They said they were fearful. So I was on the news, but it just did 3 clips of me saying my kids were scared. Like he didn't say anything about, you can come to the county commissioner meeting and ask for more funding. He didn't say anything about, what I was trying to get. So hopefully maybe people will hear here and we can attach it. Like, come to county commissioner meeting September 5th at September 15th at 6 p.m. at night. And, go and speak. Sign up to speak at 5:30. You have to sign up to speak 30 minutes before. And ask for more funding for the school,
But they already gave that to that Mike Downs, right?
Oh, yeah, they gave $4 million to Mike Downs, so I'm not sure where they're going to come up with the bus money.
Well, then they shouldn't have fired that Shawn fellow. Boy, this is this.
And the best part about it is there's like 2 county commissioners, this Laura, there's this guy named Shu that's actually in a wheelchair and on dialysis. He's the one that held his hand up and was like, hey, I motioned to fire this guy. First of all, I'm a medical provider. I don't think that he should even be on the board. Like, it was 5-1. 3 people voted fire him. 2 people said no, don't fire him. And it's and I don't think he should be able to be competent enough to raise his hand and say, hey, this guy should be fired, because he has all these medical conditions going on. If we're saying in this world that so-and-so, because they have Parkinson's disease, can't testify against so-and-so, or we're saying in all these big courts and all these big areas all over the world, we're saying all this stuff about people with their, you know, diseases or altering their way of testifying or doing or their thinking. Well,
Hmm.
we need to say that about this shoe guy, because shoe definitely should not be, his vote shouldn't count.
Mm-mm.
He's sicker and sicker by the day, and they're just manipulating him to be on their, vote. I don't think he should count. They need to revote.
Right. Oh
But this
no.
Laura Blackwell, she's a county commissioner. She's pissed about the Shawn Newton guy getting fired, and she's all over social saying she is a county commissioner.
Hello.
Cabarrus County is, and
Uh-huh.
how corrupt it's been for so many years. They just want somebody like Mike Downs in there that's going to be paid to be quiet and cover up with a band-aid for 30 years and just get paid $300,000 just to keep everybody shut up. You know
Oh,
what I mean? And do nothing, where somebody that comes in and gets them out of debt $6 million and, you know, tries to fix all this DSS corruption of people taking kids, you know, like the like James and Yolanda that had 6 kids just shouldn't have been taken. This other Hux's family that had 5 kids that shouldn't have been taken, all
oh
under the
yeah.
time that this Newton guy's here that we go and talk to him about. These people are getting their kids back. We go and have conversations with him, and then all of a sudden these people in a 6-month period of time are getting their kids back, and they're out of debt $6 million, but he gets fired because he's not joining the corruption. He
They
needs
do that to
something,
everybody.
something needs to happen.
Yeah,
And
that's
even
crazy.
the county commissioner, she's like, Laura Blackwell, she don't care. She's like, they're corrupt. This
Oh,
is ridiculous. We thought we are going to come in here and make a change. But the
uh-huh.
problem is they took Jay White. Jay White, that crooked lawyer that works with Hartzell and Williams, went and represented both of my ex-husbands and got all those financial orders against me that I'm now in federal court about. An order to pay my first ex-husband $2,800 a month. He kidnapped my kids with my ex-husband while I'm in court with the second one that beat me up. He gave me an order to pay the second one $70,000 after he beats me up and goes to jail for 6 months. And, another order to pay Jay White himself. So I get all these orders, 3 different orders in 6 month period of time. And all this time, during that time, Jay White had all these positions of power when he gave me those orders. Well, I started, telling everybody what he was doing. He's lost every single position of power in the
Yeah.
last, 3 years. He's not over DSS child support. He's not over child support. He's not over the DSS child support. He's not over the county contract. He's not over the school board. He quit. They don't have him over the county contract, all that stuff. So, anyways, he even was a county commissioner at one point, on the top of being the DSS lawyer, and the SBI made him step down, and he had to pay someone else. I think it was whoever was taking that contract at the time. I think it's Judge Juanita. She was a judge after that, but she got paid in a lawsuit because he, took her job. So they all know that if you take people's jobs or kick them out wrongfully, that you can just sue for it and make money. So
Oh, it's terrible. It's rampant corruption down there. Okay, I'm up here in Pennsylvania.
that's too close, babe. Do it on the other side. Sorry, he's parking this bus, and it's really too close to those other cars.
Oh,
Ugh,
wow. You have been through enough. I don't, and I just worry because I think they keep these cases open and keep these parents going back for the Title IV defunding, so these kids will age out like mine did. Keep it
yeah,
going, keep it going.
and keep them paying, because they're
Right.
making a whole lot of money. It's a whole lot of an extortion of families. Um, that's been happening just to keep all these lawyers paid. But guess what? It comes back around. It's going to come back around. This federal lawsuit, everyone needs to file on the federal level. There's 7 lawsuits on Cabarrus County right now, 7.
Wow.
So, and they're all open. Um, and the funny thing is like how district court thinks they have any power over the court of appeals, over the federal court. Oh, you better shut up or I'm going to keep fining you. Oh, you better be quiet or I'm going to charge you some money. Guess what? That's what you're in federal court about. Keep hanging yourself. Keep hanging yourself. You have no right to give me a gatekeeper order. You have no right to give me any kind of order that says I can't represent myself and I have to have a lawyer. That makes no sense. I've already
No.
paid $500,000 in lawyer fees. Guess what? It's worthless. I can be my own lawyer a whole lot better. I know exactly every single fact, every single sentence, every single dot, every
Yep.
single period. The lawyers go up there and they make up a whole story that isn't even the truth.
Right. And they
They don't
follow
even,
a false narrative.
yeah, it's not even close to what you had reported to them. It's like going in and saying, your medical condition is this, this, and this, and saying a total different list of problems. It's like they don't give a shit what the truth is because all they care about is the paycheck at the end of the day.
Right. And, this is people's lives. This is, the foster care issues, and they don't care about these kids or these parents.
So I think we need to reattach the video, that audio recording we did last time where we met with Mike Downs. And in that audio recording where we met with Mike Downs, they say, this $70,000 that the county was missing was
Hmm.
paid to Jay White's brother, Merritt White, which I had said, hey, I was missing, I was extorted $70,000. This other guy, Travis, was extorted $70,000 to Merritt White, which is in the same Hartsville and Williams firm. And then coincidentally, you guys, mentioned in a public meeting that
Hmm.
you're all missing $70,000. Why do they think they can just keep taking $70,000 randomly? And then Evans, the DSS attorney in the background of the recording says, oh, we found out where that $70,000 was. It was paid to Merritt White, Jay White's brother. Well, if Jay White has the contract, why the hell are you paying $70,000 to his brother? He has couple $1 million contract. Why the hell why are you paying and charging more charges to his brother?
Hmm. Oh, exactly. Oh, I do have the recording.
Yeah, we attached it last time, and
Yeah,
I think that
I
was,
can do it. I
and
can
the
do it.
FBI has that. Yeah, the FBI called me. The FBI called me. I didn't call them about this, asking about how I think Jay White extorted me.
Wow.
Okay. And
Yeah,
I let them have that audio recording because guess what? That's evidence right there that he's
right.
not just extorting me, but the whole county. The whole county.
Yeah, this is just terrible. And I will attach that to this podcast. I think that's a great idea, Amy. Wow. Yeah.
So everybody come to the Cabarrus County meeting, the county commissioner meeting, September 15th at 6 p.m. You got to go at 5:30 to sign up to speak. We need to fill the room up with, hey, what are you doing with this money? Give it back to us. We need this extorted money that you're just holding up in lawsuits and doing all this other stuff and keeping people's kids from them and, you know, paying it out to group homes and foster care and whatever.
And having buses that probably shouldn't be running.
Yeah. 25-year-old buses, you
Oh.
know, there's $1 million houses in my neighborhood. I mean, my house is a very expensive house. They're paying a lot of money in taxes, but they
Hmm.
can't even drive across the street in a bus and make it home. That's sad. That is
Yeah,
that's sad. It's literally across the street to drive this bus. And
that's
they had to drive 3 different buses for the day before they could make it home.
that's beyond unsafe. I don't know what they're thinking.
but keep paying your money to Hartzell and Williams and Jay White and his extortion. But he
Yep.
needs to be thrown off that board of elections, because the next thing you know, Jay White and his Hartzell Williams firm is going to try to get this Mike Downs guy back in his job and put Jay White back in his position over DSS, because they're going to try to prove that these other people that were in for a short period of time weren't doing it good enough, so they should come back and be, stirring up more corruption.
So do you
They,
think, are you able to notify the FBI again, or they just contact you?
I mean, I can. Let's do it. I got to open federal lawsuit. I know that the DA is aware. A lot of things are going on. There's an open investigation on Cabarrus County, Mecklenburg County, and Wake County right now with what happened in our cases. So I think, the retaliation can only go so far. Guess what? I'm not scared of you.
Right.
I am not scared of you. Guess what? I'm changing the law. I'm changing the rules. We're fixing Cabarrus County. I don't care if it has to be brick by brick. I don't care if the entire town has to walk around, the entire town has to protest. They should be mad enough about this bus that they're out there saying, what are you doing? You're extorting the money, giving them to Hartzell and Williams to build their brick and mortar and keep taking more and more money from these kids and children and putting them over all these places, but not giving them any funding to have buses that can travel back and forth to school.
Yeah,
Or
I think,
teachers. The teachers are being paid nothing. The teachers are being paid nothing and won't give them raises. They can't even afford to. Literally, teachers are having to rent a room out of somebody's house or something because the cost of living is going up and up, but their salary's not changing, and they can't even afford to live. They're having to have two jobs just to stay a teacher.
and that could have, the money that they paid Mike Downs, that probably could have helped with the
That could have
schools.
paid a lot of teachers. Yeah,
Right.
$4 million could have given all the teachers bonuses or raise. Yeah. Why the hell is Mike Downs getting $4 million? It's
Wow.
legal to go in an open court in this open meeting and fire this other guy, Shawn Newton. But it's not legal to do that to Mike Downs. He gets $4 million for it. What the hell? What is wrong with this company? What's wrong with this freaking town?
Right. And what's wrong with these lawyers that can't act ethically?
They don't have Jesus. I think I'm going to go out. I'm going to go out at my county commissioner meeting, and my first thing I'm going to say is, some Bible verses. Be not, like, no weapon formed against me will prosper.
Mm-hmm.
Anything done in darkness will come to light.
Oh,
The
yes, it
plans of
does.
the enemy will fail, and the plans he has for me are good. Anything done in darkness will come to light. That means every single thing you did, Jay White, it's going to come up. It's going to surface. It's going to be shown. Every handshake you made with Christy Wilhelm and Nathaniel Knut's making these crooked orders behind the scenes. Every single thing is coming up to light, and every single thing is going to be shown, because the devil does not have authority in this place. We're taking it back.
Oh, definitely.
Now,
And they have to know, God is watching, because I already told you what happened to my judge, so
it
God
just
is, yeah,
your judge just dropped dead.
yeah, yeah, right. And it's just unbelievable. They can only carry on this charade for so long, and then God's gonna deal with these people.
What is crazy that Judge Nathaniel Canute sits on the front row. I think it's a Presbyterian church off of 49 in
Mm-mm.
Harrisburg. He sits in the front row. He needs to be kicked out of the church
Right, right.
until he gets
Hypocrite.
Jesus. Yeah. I mean, until he gets some Jesus. He needs some kind of exorcism or some sort of
Yeah.
revival, because you don't need to be sitting on the front row of the church acting like the devil.
Shame on
That's
him.
just that's just evil.
Yes. I have to
But
agree with you.
so we tried to file a Rule 59 and a Rule 60. I tried to file in my case right after they gave me this gatekeeper order, like saying, hey, like it's like an appeal of it, right?
Uh-huh.
Like it, and they won't even let me file it. They wouldn't even let me file it. But then on top of it, I did more paperwork to do recusal of Knut's and of Wilhelm, and they let that go through. So these clerks of court, they're going to be added to that lawsuit. You can't just hold back stuff. You can't even just because Everson, I had hired Everson to file a motion for custody for Addison and Blake, and they wouldn't even put her order through. So for during this gatekeeper order, which the gatekeeper order is saying I'm supposed to have a lawyer, they wouldn't even let the lawyer file. I had paid her to file a motion for custody for
Right.
Addison and Blake. That just disappeared. That was in October of last year.
Uh-huh.
It's September of 2025. It was filed in October of 2024. I've never had a court date. I've never had a nothing. It just disappeared in the thin air. It's gone. Poof.
Mm-hmm.
So that's illegal. You can't just take out paperwork. And guess
No.
what? Now that it's electronic, because they would just remove it, like a paper, and you can't see that they didn't file it or that whatever. But now that it's electronic, you can see that they rejected the file. We have proof that they rejected receiving it to be filed. It's the email with the document attached. We're rejecting this and not letting it be filed. So there's no like, they never even brought it. There's no whatever the lies that they try to make, right? They
Right.
can't even make up their lies anymore. So everything that they say that they didn't do wrong, they're just repeating themselves and rolling over in their grave.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
So just keep hanging yourself because you just got more and more proof for the federal lawsuit.
Yeah, they might as well keep going.
So
And,
guess what? You're going to pay me millions of dollars and I'll buy the buses because you're just ridiculous at this point. So you're going to settle out millions and millions of dollars with this years and years of corruption on me and my 6 kids. Well, then, somebody's got to do it because they're obviously not using the money for the right reasons.
yes, and where did the money go? That's why I think the FBI should be involved.
I think they're still actively involved
Oh, cool.
because there's so many things going on. It's not just my case. It's obviously if people behave this way and they're getting away with it or they think they're getting away with it, they're going to keep doing it until they can't anymore. You
Right.
know what I mean? So it's just a matter of time. It's just
It
a
is.
matter of time. Justice is coming. It's just hilarious at this point because um I don't even have a response. Like in my soul, I'm not even upset with anything they do to me. Like the bully cannot disturb me.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? Like all my kids are seeing the truth now. I never went. I'm not without my kids. Like a lot of people that aren't seeing their kids at all. But my kids were kidnapped back and forth with ex parte orders 8 times since 2008, 2008,
Wow.
you know? And so my 4 older ones, I've had my younger two with me the whole time, but you shouldn't have to. There's so many of these women with this abuse and everything else going on. And then they give the kids to the abuser because they're like, you're emotional. You're being stupid. You just shut up. We don't want to hear it. They just want you to shut your mouth. But guess what? Shutting your mouth is what causes like death,
Yeah.
is what causes that depression, is what causes all that. Like the drive to fight is gone.
Right.
Don't stop talking. Don't stop speaking. Don't stop screaming. You know what I mean? Like
Yeah. Keep
until it
speaking out.
changes, you keep speaking.
Right.
You know?
And you've been a champion. I mean, I give you so much credit, and it's persistence.
Well, I mean, we already have a winning lawsuit and federal lawsuit. I mean, all three of the main players, the three exes, they defaulted and admitted to everything they did to us. We've already won the lawsuit.
Mm-hmm.
They can't fix the default. We already won the lawsuit.
Right. Uh, then what do they do with these X's once they've defaulted, like in your state? Do they freeze their assets? What do they do with these people?
I don't know. I mean, that's whatever we haven't. I don't know what they're going to give us for all the time and suffering and not,
Mm.
the times that we didn't see our kids. I mean, I didn't get to see my kids for an 8 month period of time. It's been years for Edie. So
Mm-hmm.
mine were like little spurts, like 6 months here, 8 months here, like little spurts of different parts of time.
Wow.
But, um, but it's just the healing and everything that has come through all of that. Like some people get paralyzed when bad things happen.
Mm-hmm.
Like I've never been one of those people that never could get out of the bed or that cried a lot that,
Mm-hmm.
like I've never been a paralyzed type of person.
Right.
I'm the opposite problem. Like I'm an overdoer, like overachiever. If something needs to this and this needs to be done, I'm just gonna work, you know what I mean? Like
Right.
do 10 times more than a normal person can function.
It's because we're
And
nurses.
yeah, so I'm just I'm starting to cut back on some things so I can have more of a life because, like you can't enjoy your kids if you're working all the time.
Right.
But and I shouldn't have to work two jobs to pay my abusers,
No, and your
you know?
kids can't enjoy their mother if they're being forced to work on the weekends you have them.
Yeah.
So it's harming them. Oh, so wrong. I just feel bad. I mean, they need their mother. They need to be around you and not holding some what fast food restaurant job.
Yeah, pretty much. Like one's at a car wash and one's at the bookstore.
Oh,
And the one was working with me, but he was like, no, that's not a real job, even though she was making more money working with me than the bookstore. And the bookstore is really far away. And when he made her switch to the bookstore over working with me, she got in a car accident driving to the bookstore.
well, that's his fault.
Yep.
She wasn't harmed or anything. Was she all right?
No, she's okay.
Okay, well, thank goodness. Ah, well, I'm glad you came on with this update. Is there anything else you'd like to add?
I don't think so.
Wow. Okay, so don't jump off. Okay. And if anyone needs to reach Amy, they can reach her through me, dismantlingfamilycourtcorruption.com. So, hey, don't jump off. Slam the Gavel's a podcast to help the public understand what really goes on in these courtrooms. I'm your host, Marianne Petrie. You can find me on Spotify, YouTube. Please like and subscribe, Apple iTunes, iHeartRadio, Google, and other platforms I don't even know about. Again, feel free to buy me a coffee to help keep this podcast going. Thank you, Amy Palacios. You are amazing.
Thank you.